Hello everyone, and welcome to the Talks a Lot Boys. I, as always, am your host. My name is Tyler, and I'm once again joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Kyle.
Hello.
Wow, I was sexy smooth right
Thank
there.
you. Thank you.
Ooh.
I put my hand up and I was just like, where's this going? And I just said hello. That's all it's got to be said, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, man.
that's
Just
the
ride it
perk
out,
of having our faces here now.
Yeah.
To the people listening to the audio-only version of this, no idea what you just did. Don't even tell them, because they don't deserve to know.
Check out our
anyway,
YouTube channel.
We're
Watch us on
doing another
YouTube.
Dance Gavin Dance album review, song ranking. And if you've been following along, or if you've read the title of this video, you know that today we are reviewing the... Sorry about that.
Great review on
their self-titled EP, lovingly referred to as Deathstar due to the artwork on it
Tyler,
that resembles...
It's an album, not an EP.
Oh, I'm sorry, album. I meant album. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I am very out of it. I'm burping. I'm saying, just spewing misinformation. It's fine. I'll be better by the end of the episode, probably, maybe. Anyway, I don't like this album. Just gonna be straight up. I haven't listened to it in like 5 years. I listened to it today. I remembered why I haven't listened to it for 5 years, with the exception of like 3 songs. Because there's 3 good songs, and there's some okay stuff, and there's some stuff that I did not enjoy. I was like that.
Fair.
I was like that meme of the guys. I'm straight up just not having a good time. Like
Dude,
I
nice
felt
one,
that
dude.
energy
Nice.
during some of these songs.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Yeah.
sorry, fans of this album. It's got 3 good songs. I'll give it that. 3 good songs. One of which is like my favorite song of all time, and the rest is just kind of a muddled mess of trash. But that's what I think about it. What do you guys think about this album?
Mess of trash.
I mean, I like it more than it seems like either of you do. I haven't listened to the song since I first got into the band as well, so years, and except for a couple individual songs off of it, probably similar songs to the ones that you were hinting at, Tyler. But honestly, there were a couple more that I forgot were as good as they were. They're not as good as those 3, and they're not the worst of the album. There's just a couple that kind of pushed the expectation for me a little bit higher than I thought they would. So I was semi-pleasantly surprised listening to it, just because I didn't think that my experience was going to be great. And I took more notes on a couple of songs than I thought I would. So that's a positive.
Man. See, there's a few songs that I think just straight up suck. I mean, let's be honest. There's like a top 3. There's like a couple like absolute classics, I think. And then the rest of it's just like a hodgepodge of like okay stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, John Mess sounds terrible.
Yeah.
He sounds so... I say
not
it
wrong, but
this one is special. Like, it gets worse the farther you go back, which is great that we're going backwards, because like that means now it's great. But like, wow, I'm listening to this. I forgot how bad it was. There are parts where I was just like, I want to skip the song.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear this bullshit.
Yeah.
I experienced the same thing in a few songs.
Thank-
I even took notes on a few of them where I was like, when will this end? I just want this to be over.
Thankfully, Kurt Travis saves some of the songs. Not all of them. But there are moments where Kurt Travis goes, oh, okay, cool. This is good. And then it goes back to
I
him.
got you, fam. Don't worry.
being back.
I will say in general, I had a lot of like similar notes on a lot of the songs of like, I think Kurt Travis sounds pretty good in this song. I think he is probably the best part of this song. Guitar is cool. Don't like it. Like, it was just kind of a recurring theme of like, I like Kurt Travis's voice in this, but does it salvage some of the songs that just kind of feel like I'm stuck in quicksand and can't get out of it? No. it makes my like endless stay in some of these songs like tolerable, but it doesn't make it enjoyable. It doesn't completely salvage the experience. So,
yeah.
I guess we're just gonna get right into it.
Let's do it.
We can start talking about why we don't like some of this stuff. As you all know at this point, if you're watching this, our task for today is gonna be ranking all the songs on this album from worst to first. I'm gonna run through all the albums in the order all the songs in the order that they appear on the album. I'm still having an aneurysm apparently, but hopefully I will
slow
get
burn,
better.
you know.
Hopefully the blood clots.
I'm gonna run through the songs in the order they appear, so we know what we're working with. First up is Alex English. Second is Buffalo. Third is me and Zoloft get along just fine. It gets worse from here, don't worry. The Robot with Human Hair, Part 3. Next up is Hot Water on Wool, followed by Hot Water on Wool, just the last verse of the song, which is a separate track for some reason. For the sake of this podcast, we're going to just lump them together. Okay, there is no point in ranking just a 1 minute extension of the song as a separate thing. I don't get it. Anyway,
it's weird.
After this is Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most. I'm already just gonna say I'm gonna throw that all the way up to the top right now because there's just it's unavoidable. Everyone sees it coming. Caviar featuring Chino Marino. Rock Solid. Burning Down the Nicotine Armoire Part 2. Reprogramming, Mental Reprogramming. Skyhook. And People You Know. I kind of just got more sad the further down that list I got.
It's fair. Very fair.
And because of that, I want to throw out a song that I want to just throw straight in the bottom into the goddamn trash can.
Okay. Hit me with it, baby.
People You Know.
Okay.
This song ends on a worse note than any note that they hit in the entire album, which I found impressive, honestly. There were songs when I was going through, I was like, this is definitely going to be last. And then I got to People You Know, and it opened up with like this super fresh guitar lick, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. And then the song just progressively went nowhere and got worse, just every second of it. And my notes were basically just a trail of, let me just read these off verbatim of what my experience was, I guess. Super fresh guitar lick to start things off. Extremely weird John Mess break. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of this. Honestly, this is just too much John Mess. Where's Kurt Travis? Oh god, this is so awkward. It's just John Mess and no music. What is happening? I don't get it. Oh, it's my least favorite music trope in history. A long-ass pause for no reason. Where's the rest of the song? I think it's building back up. Honestly, I just don't know what the fuck I'm listening to right now. I kind of hate this. When is this gonna be over? Okay, it's over. I hate this.
Okay, it's over.
So that's my thoughts on that song. I did not have a good time. I don't like that song. It's like 10 minutes. Why is it 10 minutes? Nothing happens. They have songs that are shorter than that in future albums that do more than that did. It was just, it was pointless. It was long and pointless and bad, and I hated it.
I will say that I like appreciate them for doing something extremely different. And kind of looking at where this was going forward, it's like, oh, now they're definitely willing to try weird shit because this is just weird shit that doesn't work. And then as they go, they kind of refine it and they kind of play on this a little bit going forward. Not some of the really bad parts, but I think that like the weird like lo-fi shit in the last half of the song, I didn't like hate it. But because it was Dance Gavin Dance doing it, I didn't like it. Like it was something I would not hate anyone else doing. But because it was the way it was done after the worst like weird minute-long pause ever, and like just like for a minute before that, I don't like. And it was so funny because I mirror you so hard, Tyler, with the intro. I was like, yeah, no.
It's so misleading. It's like getting catfished on Tinder. Like it's just you think you're getting into something great, and it's just not. And it's just a terrible experience. I've never been catfished on Tinder. This is just an example.
I've never downloaded Tinder.
Oh yeah. See, like for me, like that song has like one like okay part. It's like a minute in, where the guitar is just like kind of like. Yes. I don't want to like mimic the sound, but like, I mean, it kind of revisits that about 2.5 minutes in, but other than that, I mean, like, I wish that would have been a part where they would have brought in, like, Kurt Travis a little bit. You know, like, infuse something else into the song. But other than that, it sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. So are we all in agreement? Can we just not talk about this song anymore?
I have one song that I would like to potentially put in there.
Okay.
Like, otherwise.
Oh, like at the bottom instead.
I mean, if it's not 13, I'd like it to be 12.
Okay.
Is it
And
Caviar?
It is Caviar.
Okay, because I support this for it being 12.
Like, in an album that I feel like a lot of songs don't really go anywhere, this is the song that actually doesn't go anywhere. Like, it's extremely monotonal. The chorus to me is like I absolutely just detest the chorus. Like, it like, I mean, obviously Chino Moreno, he's from Deftones, so the song like kind of turns like Deftones-y like vibe like kind of deal, and like, I don't know, like the vocals to me are like very like airy and like, you know, just, I don't know, they can like put me to sleep. Like, it just, yeah. I don't know. I don't enjoy it whatsoever.
This song like literally bored me. Like, there were several songs in the album that I didn't really like, but this was the one song where I was just like actively waiting for it to end because I just wanted to get out of it. I was tempted to just skip it, but I was like, I have to technically listen to this in case something actually happens. And it didn't. And I was like, oh, that was a waste of my time. That wasn't an experience I really need to go through ever again. It was just so forgettable. Like, the only thing I remember about it is that I didn't like it. Like, I don't even remember what it sounded like, to be honest. It was just really boring, and I didn't care about it at all. Yeah, I still think that People You Know should be the bottom because it commits sins. I just think that Caviar is super boring, so I want that to be immediately following that.
Kyle, what do you think?
This was actually one of the songs I liked a little bit more than I remembered liking, if I'm being honest with you.
Huh.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that you said this was next, because this is one that surprised me a bit more. I can totally see where you're coming from with it kind of being monotone, and that is something I think it really does struggle with throughout the whole thing. But I think the instrumentals of a lot of this song caught me more than the instrumentals of two songs in particular that I was ready to throw in the chopping block next because I thought they bored me. But that's just me. But I don't know. I think that there's a lot of really cool moments with the layering as well in this song where like they do a lot of cool vocal layering, especially near the end. I think because I can see where you're coming from where it really doesn't do a lot, but I think the very end of this song, the layering that they do with the vocals and then John Mess in the background and stuff, I think actually is a really nice like build on the end, because we talk about that roller coaster every other time, anytime, and this song doesn't really have it, but the end there is like a nice little like ba-boom, and I was like, that's pretty neat. I kind of dig it.
I mean, what I will say to counter that though is that I feel like, I mean, like you said with like the layered vocals and stuff, there are other songs on the album that like do that better. So that's like fair. I don't necessarily think that that's like a salvaging factor of this particular song when like you can still get that experience from other songs that like aren't immensely boring for 90% of it.
That's fair.
Because like I definitely like made that note in a lot of songs of like the layered vocals and stuff are just like really, really nice.
I think that's one of the best things they do in the whole album, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't personally think it should be number 12. I have a song that I think is worse than it by a good bit.
What would that be?
Hit me with it.
I think Buffalo is pretty bad.
I don't mind Buffalo that much, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I think that my thing with Buffalo, and the thing that really makes me like not ever want to listen to it, like literally a minute in, I was like, no, is that like John Mess doesn't sound good in this album, and anytime he comes in, it sounds bad. But like the whole no shit, it's like annoying on top of bad, and it's like it like just like hurts my ears. And then after that, I was just like, what else did I fucking have for it? Very few notes. And I thought Travis's vocals were really good in it. I made a note about that. And then I put, that's it. Like, there's just nothing. The song is criminally short. But I guess it's not, because I wanted it to be over so bad. And it did. It was like a 2.5 minute long song. It's one of the shortest on the album, I'm pretty sure. And I think it's short. It has a really annoying on top of sounding bad thing that happens over and over again. And the only redeeming factor of it is that Travis sounds good in it. That's all I can't think of any other positives for that song. And it really doesn't do the layering thing either, in like a way that like the vocals kind of like harmonize and shit, like we were talking about the good stuff from Caviar.
Will say,
I mean, I don't find anything good about Caviar, but
I find there's nothing good about Caviar.
I disagree, and I think there's nothing really good about Buffalo.
I
think Buffalo's better than Caviar. If this is
I think Buffalo.
If this is the argument we're having, I think Buffalo's definitely better than Caviar.
I think you're very
like,
wrong.
But I'm not voting.
Buffalo. Buffalo's like the only DGD song that actually starts off with a drum intro, like other than like Demo Team.
I'm saying because like that,
which isn't good.
Yeah, because the things I like about Buffalo are mainly the drums. Like I think the drum part for Buffalo is really really cool. I don't mind the no thing. I don't think it's that annoying. But like I could see why you think that. The only thing that like actively pisses me off about Buffalo is that the ending just sucks.
Yeah.
Like the slowdown part at the very end is
I
just
think
like
that's
actually
why...
bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that this should be like high on the list, but like I also think of the songs we've talked about so far, it is the better of the three. There's probably some songs that I would argue to put underneath it, but like I still don't like this song that much, so like if it's coming up soon, I don't care.
Oh man.
But can we agree for right now that we can lock in People You Know at the bottom and Caviar at the spot just above it?
I 100% don't agree, but I'm outvoted, so we'll move on.
Okay.
I think Caviar is like the middle of the pack for this album, personally.
Yeah. I think it's garbage. So
I think you listened to the wrong song, personally.
I will never ever listen to as long as my life goes well, I will never listen to Caviar again until I die.
All right, we'll move on.
It's not because it's like terrible. It's just it's so boring, and it does nothing for me.
If the main part of the song I absolutely detest, then yeah, I can't get behind it whatsoever.
Okay.
I think that speaking of like bits that we find annoying, there was a part that I found more annoying than the no part in Buffalo significantly. Okay. And that was in Rock Solid. There's just like this note that plays on the guitar. It sounds almost just like a siren going off, and it goes on for like a really, really, really long time. And there's just like fucking talking happen, just people having an argument, and it's just wee, wee. And I'm like, am I listening to a song anymore, or am I like listening to the couple next door argue with the fire alarm going off? Like I'm not really enjoying this. And like I think that like at the end of that, like the build up that it ends up leading to is very cool, but like I don't know if it's worth sitting through like a solid like minute or so of just like I didn't enjoy that. Not saying this is next. I just wanted to throw that out there. Didn't enjoy that. There were, because it had like, in general, I think it has some funky guitar parts. The background vocal mixes are pretty cool. Like it has redeemable qualities. I guess I just don't know how badly that part of the song affects the entirety of the song. I kind of want to hear what you guys think about this song.
I'm just going to put it out there right now. I think we have differing opinions on this album because I like Rock Solid.
I actually do too.
Because I can totally understand why you don't like the siren-y guitar, but like it's something that kind of plays throughout the whole first half and the last half, and then it breaks down to just that one note, and it's like like a breaking point, and then an argument that's like at a breaking point, and then it builds back up. And I kind of like the painting of a picture with that whole thing. It is a bit annoying, but I think it's kind of supposed to be because of like the tension that it's supposed to be building. And I guess you could argue that's the case with the No No No's too, because that's kind of like a building a tension thing too. But fuck it. I think that this song's actually really interesting. I actually kind of thought the little sketch in the middle was kind of fun. It went on a little too long personally, but like I enjoyed it. I think that the entire ending of the song is phenomenal. I really do like the last half of the song. Like after that,
yeah, I like the ending.
The guitars start soaring, and then fucking Travis like goes really high too, and then there's like layering within that, and like that whole ending bit is one of my preferred parts on the album. Like unfortunately, other songs are good the whole time, and I think the intro of the song also is really kind of like smooth and like almost like funky a little, and I was like that's really interesting. And like you mentioned, I have notes about the layering too. I think the layering kind of adds to that really like smooth, slick, like cool guy kind of feel at the beginning of it. And it kind of grows into like John Mess sounding bad again, and then like a vibra slap hits, and then like he's almost like an announcer. Like there's like an announcer voice that happens. I know. I think I just said this about the last album about somebody having an announcer voice, but like there's like an echo on his voice, and he's like kind of. It sounds like he's almost announcing a fight, and then the fight happens in the speech, but it sounds like it's leading up to like almost like a boxing match. I don't know. I really like the way they just kind of played around with like different things in the song, and I thought it was a lot more. I thought it was a lot more just like experimental in a very fun way that didn't ever sound like, oh god, I want to skip this. It all sounded like it at the least decent, and that's a lot better than a lot of other songs on this album. It's more interesting than a lot of other songs on this album. That's like my main thing, I think.
Yeah, and like I can get that. It's like I don't like actively hate this song. I guess I just wanted to know how you guys felt about it as a whole, because in my mind, like I don't know if the good outweighs the annoying in my mind. But like if you guys think so, then like absolutely we don't have to put this close to the next spot.
I can kind of echo Kyle's like sentiment towards it. I think that the song kind of has an atmosphere build, kind of like how Acceptance Speech has, like the actual song Acceptance Speech.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously two completely contrasting ways. Like the part that you find annoying, I actually find interesting.
Yeah.
Like Kyle said, it's like a building or something. Like Tyler said, it's like kind of like an alarm. Like something's coming, like, you know, and then of course, like, you know, I think Kurt Travis, like you said, has kind of like an announcer voice kind of thing going on, even though it sounds kind of like hectic, you know, and then like the argument, that takes a while, but like all in all, I think the song is kind of like, it's experimental and it's like atmospheric. That's like the only real way I can put it. But I like it. I mean, this is probably a song I'll come back to, but not too often though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do we want to be next? Is there anything that like we want to jump on? Is there anything that just super jumps out to either of you guys?
I mean, like I said, I think Buffalo is just like short, kind of repetitive in an annoying way. I know you don't think of it as annoying, but it's still repetitive in the thing that like really doesn't do a lot on top, even if you don't think it's annoying. So I think that, I mean, that's kind of where I'm leaning next, because I don't really have a lot more positives for it. I do think the drums are a good point, and that's something I just didn't really talk about. But that is definitely a point that I kind of just let go. But there's one other song on this album that just doesn't really catch me as well, and that song, there's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't do anything that makes me go, ooh, fuck yeah, and it's Skyhook.
Yeah, Skyhook doesn't really do a lot.
I have like nothing good and nothing bad to say about it. Like the instrumentals are really good, and like there's that ooh and ah bit like in the chorus that happens around it, and like that's kind of all I have.
Yeah, because like for Skyhook, the only thing I really have is like like the beat at the beginning's pretty good. I think overall the guitar and the instrumentals are good. I really like the vocal layering, and some of it's like pretty catchy. But like in general, like I don't know, like most of the songs on this album, like I just don't it's kind of forgettable to me.
It just kind of lands in this weird area of it's not good, it's not bad, which I could see being a reason why it doesn't deserve to be here, but it's kind of where I'm leaning to next, because I think there's stuff that I definitely stands out to me in other songs.
I would put Buffalo underneath it.
I would too. I'm definitely there for that.
I can agree with that, honestly.
Because I mean, like, the only real strong thing I like about Buffalo is the drums, like the fact that it does have a drum intro and that it's a good drum intro. But I mean, even though the ending of it does have one of the most iconic John Mess lyrics, where it says, "I'm John Mess and I wrote the script to get you out of that dress," but then it's just immediate train derailment after that point.
Yeah. Like I actively like hate the end of Buffalo. I just want to skip it. So I'm fine with
I
that.
literally listened to it up until he says that and then skip. All right, see you. Have a good one. So
yeah,
I wouldn't mind that being next.
I'm not opposed to that. We can lock that in. So then after that, is there anything? Do we want to just lock in Skyhook for the next spot, or is there anything else that we think is worse?
There is nothing else on the album that I think is legitimately just sin, like people you know. And
yeah.
So I don't really see anything being beneath the song that I think is very listenable. I guess that's the best way to put it.
That's very fair.
I don't hate listening to Skyhook, but I'm not jumping for it. And I think there are other songs. Everything else does something that I go, oh, that at least that one part is cool. So
yeah, it's very fair. Okay, we'll lock that in.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean it has tasty like Skyhook has some tasty parts to it, but yeah, nothing like leaps off the page like some of these other tracks. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like a kind of a recurring thing in this album is that like a lot of these songs just don't really grab me in any sort of way. Like even when they do things that are kind of cool, like it's just kind of like, oh, that was cool, and then like I just kind of go back to like zoning out. Like I don't know. I think that there was one song on here that like I think I felt that more than anything else. I just need to look through my notes because all these songs kind of blend together.
That's fair. Oddly enough, I had a lot of notes for some of these songs, so it does really blend together for me.
Yeah. So for Burning Down the Nicotine Armoire Part 2, the only note I have is that it has solid vocals again, but it just, everything except the ending just does not grab me.
Yeah, I kind of have similar notes to that. The positives that I have are vocals sound good. I made a note about like the plucky guitar little lick that happens throughout it a couple times. I think that's really fun because like there's a layering moment at one point where there's like, it's like a lot of what the fuck is his name? I forgot the singer's name.
Kurt Travis.
Kurt Travis.
Kurt Travis. I was like, who the fuck am I talking about? Kurt Travis. He layers his voice a bunch of time and almost sounds like a little mini choir in the background at one point that I thought was really cool with him also leading it. And then there's the plucky guitar that's kind of jumping around it that like, I thought that whole moment was really cool. It's not very long, but like it's a cool little arrangement of a section of the song that was cool. And I think the chorus in general is very powerful and kind of like is really got good momentum to it and stuff like that. But and like you said, the ending is pretty solid. But other than that, I don't have a ton for this one. It kind of lands in the same land as Skyhook, but I had a couple things that I liked a little bit, that stand out to me.
That's kind of how I feel too. I think that like since I kind of like my notes for both those songs are very similar. I think that like both of them just like they had like one or two parts in it that I thought were cool, but like in general, they're just kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Like really the only thing I liked about Burning Down the Nicotine Armoire is just the vocals and the ending breakdown. But everything else, I just feel like of the songs that we have left, I feel like this offers the least.
I 100% agree. I was leaning towards this coming next as well. Okay. So I'm totally here
Yeah,
for
I'm-
you.
Cool.
Preaching.
I'm either feeling that or I feel like Hot Water and Wool is coming up.
I can definitely see that that's coming up.
Now, were we just gonna combine those two?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're just combining them.
Okay.
If we were including the reprise as a separate thing, I would shove that at the bottom because it's pointless.
Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Water and Wool is interesting. Like the synth effect at the beginning is very weird. I think my biggest beef with Hot Water and Wool is that the synth thing takes way too fucking long.
Yeah, I have that too.
I kept thinking that it was gonna end and like start the song like 3 times, and it just for like a minute or so. I think it just keeps doing it, and I'm like, that's egregious. Like we don't need any of that.
Yeah, I will say, like, kind of to your point and against your point, I agree with you. That's like my main negative note for this song. But in a song that if you do put them together, because I think the other big problem with it is that it should just be one song. I almost kind of wish this song was the final song on the album, because if it was just the two of these parts put together and as long as it is on the end of the album, I think the ending of it, like, because the last like 3 minutes of the song are really good. Like, I really like the kind of like, there's like noisemakers, there's the vibra slap, there's like an egg shaker, and then the actual instruments take it and play that same rhythm, but like fully thought out. And I think there's a lot of really cool ideas, but in a song that is that long, the intro being a little too long, I think is not as bad because there's so much of the rest of the song. So that, while I agree that it's too long, I think because of the actual like full thing, it's not that big of a chunk of the whole experience of the song, if that makes sense. That's just me. Because it is still bad. Like, don't get me wrong, it's bad. I just think that I don't hold it as much against it because of the actual length of the whole thing.
That's fair. I mean,
and then again, the whole thing isn't actually one whole thing, so is that something we're going to hold against it as well? Because it's kind of stupid.
Count as a knock against it? That it's
I don't
split
know.
into 2 songs for literally no reason?
And it doesn't even sound like it's split into 2
songs.
songs.
A break, and then it continues with the next one. It's literally like, if you're not like actively watching like the thing go by and see the song change, like, you won't know that the song changed. It's literally they just like decided to cut the last like minute and a half off, call it the exact same thing. It's just a separate track for some reason. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't know if I hold it against it that much, especially because there isn't a weird like hiccup between the two.
Sure.
Because like I honestly didn't even realize that's what happened until I looked at my phone and saw that it was now a new thing. I was like, oh right. Which was a little annoying, but not enough to be like, oh wow, this song's not great, you know? Because I think this song in general is pretty solid. I just like that it's something, it's another song that's like experimental in a good way, in my opinion, kind of similar to how Rock Solid sits with me, where it's like, there's a lot of like, it kind of just builds the whole time, even into the second half, and does it in different ways throughout the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of really cool ooh stuff. The beginning starts out very like low, and it kind of slowly builds there. And it really takes its time building up, but it's doing stuff. And that's something that a lot of other songs on this album just doesn't do. Like how you guys saying about Caviar, like it just is very boring. This song is never boring to me. Like there is always something happening. There's a lot of fun random instruments like the vibra slap, the egg shaker that are just thrown in there that keep me interested and keep me wanting to hear what happens next. And like I said, the ending is like a really good payoff. I actually really like this song a lot more than I thought. This was like the other one with Rock Solid and Caviar to an extent, but you know, whatever. Yeah. This one and Rock Solid, I think, were the two that I was like, oh shit, okay. That I think kind of deserve to be up a little bit more. But that's just me, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, does that mean that we can just lock in Nicotine Armoire at whatever spot this is? 8?
Well, I guess, Brendan, you were the one that brought up Hot Water on Wool, right? About it being next?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything that you said is pretty correct.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I just... I mean, like, you bring up good points, like, you know, like, it's definitely not a boring track. It definitely doesn't, like, walk in circles like I feel Caviar does, and, you know, it, like, Burning Out the Nicotine fuck that song. So...
Part 2.
Like that, part 2. So, that song, like, Hot Water and Wool is definitely, like, better to me than it, so I don't know. Like I'm thinking that, or maybe like reprogramming, mental reprogramming should be like in this like sense. I feel like these two songs should probably be head to head right now.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, of definitely between Nicotine, Armoire, reprogramming, mental reprogramming, I think reprogramming is better. I think it just offers more.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, ultimately, it loses my interest by the end, like every other song on this fucking album does. But I think that, like, at least reprogramming tries doing some, like, interesting beats and some, like, different, like, grooves and instrumental stuff to kind of, like, switch things up throughout. Like, I feel like by the end of it, I'm ready for it to be over. But, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, I mean, and I'm not going to be pissed if you guys disagree with me, because I don't particularly like any of these songs that we're talking about right now. But, like, just based on my notes, I just think that that one is slightly better than
I think
that one.
Okay. I think that the comparison between these two is actually interesting, because I think they do very similar things in a different scale. I think they both have like some really interesting little instrumentation stuff going on, but it almost feels like Hot Water is like stretched out more and like just like continues to build that even longer than this one does.
Yeah.
Like there's a
Well, I think Hot Water is better than both of those two. I was just comparing Nicotine, Armoire, and reprogramming. Hot Water and Wool is better than both of those, I think.
Oh, I thought you were saying about reprogramming. Oh, my bad.
No. Yeah.
My
Sorry,
bad.
that was confusing.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I like the way that that Hot Water and Wool kind of fleshes out the sound and like the way that it's progressing more than reprogramming.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't dislike the way that reprogramming does it as well. So I think they're really close in my mind as well. I think this is a good comparison, Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just kind of depends on if you want that really long kind of great build-up. I think the payoff in Hot Water is better than the ending of reprogramming in my mind, but it's not by a ton either. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the chorus in mental reprogramming, like how the guitar, like everything just kind of like stops, and obviously you just hear drums, and then like just like the guitar, like real slick guitar, and then like him and Kurt Travis come in at the same time. It's just like, ooh, like that sounds good, and then like that goes on for a little span, and then it's just like the guitar like strumming, and then like the chorus kind of like takes off from that point. I really enjoy. I guess I agree with the payoff in Hot Water and Wool being better, but then of course like the build up is just that much longer and like that much more like sustained. I mean, especially with like the guitar like synth effect kind of going on. Man, I would probably put Nicotine, Armoire, then mental reprogramming, and then I guess Hot Water on Wool. I mean, I don't know if you guys have any kind of like thing you want to put under it, or
I'm perfectly fine with all three of those being in those spots. That's kind of where I was leaning toward. So
Same.
yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, that was easy. Kyle.
Oh.
We're
taking a break, folks.
We're gonna. All right. Kyle.
We're back.
Wow, you teleported back in your seat. Nothing
What's
happened.
up,
there was
buddies?
There was no pause.
Nope.
We're keeping going.
Yes.
And again, the people listening to the audio version of this podcast are going to be very fucking confused.
Extremely.
But that's
they
fine.
Have no idea.
I'm going to recap real quick because we're already on the top 5. And I
went pee. I had to pee.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
Okay.
I was.
Thanks. I wouldn't care anyway.
There you go, audio listeners.
I
I'm
would have
sorry.
lost sleep if I hadn't gotten answers to why you ran away.
Where's Kyle going?
I had to let the people know, and you, I guess.
Oh yeah, you're such a man of the people.
So I'm gonna do a recap real quick.
Let's do it.
Number 12 is People You Know. Number 11 is Caviar. Number 10 is Buffalo. Number 9 is Skyhook. Number 8 is Bring Down the Nicotine Armoire Part 2. That name was so long I forgot what number I'm on.
I don't remember
7
either, honestly.
is reprogramming, mental reprogramming. 6 is hot water on wool. Is that right?
Is that right? I don't know. Wait, what do we have left?
Uh,
What does that mean we have left?
Hot water on wool. The Robot Human Hair Part 3. Me and Zoloff get along just fine. Alex English and Uneasy Hearts weigh the most.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, yeah. Rock Solid,
Yeah.
Robot with Human Hair, Zoloft, Alex. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah, Rock Solid. I forgot about that.
That's it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
because hot water on wool is at 6. So I think that clearly, with just no question, the next 2 spots, I don't know what order, but like the next 2 spots are going to be Robot with Human Hair Part 3 and Rock Solid.
I'd agree.
In any order. This is the fight. This is where we're at.
100%.
We haven't talked about Robot with Human Hair Part 3 yet. Anybody want to give their thoughts?
Brennan.
I think it's just very. I mean, it's very solid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ironically, it's going up against literally Rock Solid, but it's
nice.
Like, I mean, like all the Robot with Human Hairs, they're all like pretty, just legit. Like,
yeah.
You know, the instrumentals, you know, they're nice, they're tasty. Like, Kurt Travis kind of like does his own thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a lot on the song, but like, I just have like that I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other things on this album, but
I think that some main things I liked about it were just that I think Kurt Travis has some like really soaring vocal parts in it that I really, really dug.
I think that's the main thing.
And there's just like some like really groovy, like chuggy guitar parts that I think are like really catchy too. But overall, I mean, my notes are pretty much the same. It's just like it's a solid track. Kurt shines.
Yeah, like
Will
the
Swan
verse
shines.
it's like 50 seconds
solid.
in, like where he's just kind of singing and like one guitar is kind of like strumming along while the other one's like kind of like doing its own thing. Like that part to me is like really tasty.
Yeah.
And then like builds into like another chorus. Like,
now, I will say, in my personal opinion, and I know we've already talked about this, but like, I think that the Robot with Human Hair, I don't have any like actual knocks against it. Whereas Rock Solid, there is a part that I just genuinely don't like. So because of that, my vote is going to be Rock Solid at 5 and Robot with Human Hair at 4. But you guys can fight it out if you agree or disagree.
Well, I will say that, like, for me, it's 2 songs that I think don't have any knocks, personally. Because I totally understand what your knock is about Rock Solid, but I personally find it more interesting than annoying, similar to Brennan. But as far as Robot Part 3 goes, I think that I also have very similar notes where like the guitar is just like super strong in this song. Some of the strongest on the album, honestly. Like the last 3, which we'll touch in a second. That's going to be the hardest part, I think, of this whole episode. I think those 3 songs do as well, but I think there are some like moments in this where the guitar really does fucking soar. And then along with that, you have Kurt Travis matching that by singing some really fucking high notes that like are really good. I overall really liked Kurt Travis in this album. Like, I thought I liked it on the last one, so the next one technically. But, like, in this one, I actually think I liked him even more. Like, it was really solid.
Yeah. Honestly,
so to everyone else, they were just disappointed. But, like...
Yeah. I definitely think Kurt Travis sounds better on this album than he did in Happiness. It's just a shame that, like, the songs aren't as good as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, by comparison.
I think... opposite of that, I think John Mess sounds a little bit better in Happiness than he does here, because that's my main dig about Robot Part 3 is that I really didn't like John Mess in this song. Like, there are moments where the way that he is doing what he is doing sounds some of the worst, and I hate it. And that is my big knock for this song. I mean, it's also a knock in Rock Solid as well, but I think it's personally worse in Robot, so I would personally put Rock Solid above Robot with Human Hair Part 3.
Okay. Brennan, you're going to be the tiebreaker then.
Go get him, Tiger. Don't forget the good things.
Kyle.
Oh, no.
I mean, like, yeah, Rock Solid. Like, I really enjoy, like, the little sketch. I really enjoy the fact that it is different. But, like, for me, the Robo Human Hair is just a taste of your jam. Like, there's parts where, like you guys said, like, Kurt Travis just takes off. And, like, I think Will Swan does an excellent job, like, kind of, like, matching him. Like it feels like him and like the instrumentals are going like step for step. And even like after the chorus, like when things like kind of break back down, like I don't know, it's just like a really smooth transition. And I mean, even though I'm not a fan of how John Mess sounds on this record, I think that his parts in it were still like very like complimentary.
That's fair.
While in like Rock Solid, he kind of like takes over a lot. And I mean, that's kind of what gets Rock Solid going. But I just feel like Throw Away Human Hair Part 3 is a better jam. You know, like from start to finish, there's like nothing I dislike about it. While with like Rock Solid, there's like a couple critiques I could have.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I really thought that this was going to be the time that you sided with Kyle over me. I saw it
I had
coming,
no hope.
and then
I had
it just
no
didn't
hope.
happen.
I never have hope that I'm gonna win a duel. I don't.
For me, the Robo Human Hair Part 3 is just a better jam, like objectively.
Of course it is.
And I kind of agree. So, cool. Those are locked in.
It's all right.
We're down to the final three. I think number one is very decisive. So let's just can I go out on a limb and say that number one is just going to be Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most, and like it's the obvious choice? Am I alone in thinking that?
No. I mean, Kyle, do you disagree?
Choose your next words very carefully, because I am heavily biased.
Oh, I absolutely know you are. And my first note on Uneasy Hearts is Tyler will gush about this song. Because it's very widely known that you adore this song with a passion. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Ready for a hot take? The chorus of this song, I legitimately do not like. I legitimately do not like the chorus of the song.
I legitimately don't like you. It's fine.
I have been waiting for this day because I was like,
that is the hottest take I've ever heard about anything in my entire life.
I think instrumentally this song is the best on the album. 100%. Yeah. Instrumentally, this song is the best on the album. I think it sounds really good. I don't like the way they did the chorus. I really don't. It's a personal thing, and I know it's not going to win in the end, but damn, man. There's something about the chorus that I just don't like listening to. I have always felt this way, and I've just been building up this like little piece inside of me to feel this way till this very moment. There's something about the chorus that just doesn't sound that good.
I can hear
Alex English and Zoloft both have way better like melodies to them. What melody is there in Uneasy Hearts with the most? It doesn't. It's not that good. It's not that good.
I can hear people typing in the comments.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Like I've been waiting. I knew that this was the moment everyone hated me.
Are gonna be so fucking angry.
I'm here for it. And hear me out, man. I think the song is still good. I think that the instrumentally the song is incredible. I love the vibe they go for with the instruments in this song. I like this kind of really like chill, but still like fuck you energy that the whole thing's got. I really like it. I like the verses, but damn that chorus, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it at all. Like legitimately. And I know it's a hot take, and I know everyone's gonna say it's a wrong take, but that's just my opinion. I really.
You've had a lot of hot takes in the past. This is the hottest. By like a billion degrees. Like, I don't know who you are anymore.
I mean,
wow. I mean, good for you for sticking to your guns. I respect the fuck out of that. I disagree on such a fundamental level that I don't even know like where to go.
Especially on an album where Kurt Travis sounds really good, he doesn't get to sound and soar in this chorus the way that I think he should. If this chorus had him actually sing at moments, I think I'd like the song more. But the fact that like
gang chanty chorus makes it fun to sing along to, Kyle.
But that shouldn't be the whole thing, man. I'm not as talented
as Kurt Travis. No one in the crowd at these concerts.
You were absolutely right. I'm not as talented as Kurt Travis, but I wish that he would sing because he should know that he is.
Kyle, it's pretty well known that I find your like music intelligence to be on a much higher plane than mine. Like,
okay,
you understand like how like the actual like fundamentals of how things work. Like you always bring like
buttering me up. I like it.
You know, like music after like this. Verbatim into like the equation here. I can kind of see what you mean.
It doesn't. It doesn't make the song bad. It doesn't. I mean, understand the fun of it. I do. Disclaimer
here for anyone watching or listening. I'm not owning this opinion whatsoever. I am poking at this with like a 30-foot pole. All right,
you all are scared, pussy bitches. Come on, say what you feel.
Well, no, because like
I'm scared.
I like how it sounds.
Might as well have just like thrown out a racial slur or something. Like this
That's
is
not
just
at all true.
This is in the Dance Gavin Dance
this is when
scape.
This is when like your best friend. All right, he goes viral on the internet in a video like dropping an N-bomb, and you're like, "Whoa! I need to like distance myself."
You guys are taking this really serious. Like you're taking this on an offensive level of like people will cancel me. People will cancel me for a day over.
Canceled if you're not famous. None of us can get canceled.
That's also fair.
Following. We can't.
I'm just saying if you were famous, like I said, if you went like viral for something, like this could be it. So what I'm saying is like I can get it from like a melody standpoint. Like, yeah, it is not the greatest utilization of Kurt Travis's talent, but it is extremely sing-alongable too.
It is.
All right.
100%.
Like the instrumentals, like it just kind of like captures like the picture of that part of the song. Like a picture's worth 1,000 words. Like to me, like it just totally fits. Like, yeah, it's not the absolute most best sounding thing I've ever heard. Like, it's not like I'm strapping on fucking like Stroke God Millionaire and I'm hearing just Tillian Just Take Me Away or like, you know, Man of the Year or like Evaporate or anything like that, where it's just like everything just sounds so incredible, but it just completely totally fits in a song that instrumentally I think is just like vastly like leagues ahead of like most things on this album, if not everything on this album. Like it just fits.
I can 100% see what you're talking about, but I'd like to imagine an alternate reality. Journey with me for a second. We're going into a different reality.
I want to be in this reality, Kyle.
Where the chorus of this is not gang shanty and has immaculate high vocals and absolutely shredding guitar. Everything else is the same.
It
except
wouldn't be the song,
swap the
but
chorus.
like this isn't the reality we live in. We can't be throwing hypotheticals into this.
It doesn't need it though.
Yeah,
but like, I think it loses a lot because of the chorus. I think this song could be so fucking. This could be the best DGD song. This could be the best DGD song.
For a long period of time, it was.
Yeah. To this day, it is still the second most played DGD song of all time under We Own the Night.
And I think that is hilariously stupid because I think that chorus... There are so many other songs in the entirety of DGD discography that have so much better just overall fucking music in them. As far as vocals to instrumentals go, as in general. And in this song, it is such good moments then into gang chants. And there's nothing done with those gang chants except for... And I kind of like that. That's the part I do kind of like in it. But I think that, man, it's just like... It is just a letdown to me that this song has so much great stuff going around.
Kyle, you're a letdown to me. Please stop talking.
I'm just telling you how I feel. I've been ready for this moment. I know everyone's going to hate me. But I think
it's not even that this song's like universally... Like, if this song was like universally panned, like, I would totally get what you're saying.
But that's the thing, right? It's like, I don't give a shit that everyone fucking adores this song. I really don't. My opinion is that the chorus could be better. In general, it's a great song, but I think it could be a phenomenal song if that chorus was, like, somewhat melodic in any form. I'm gonna just fucking set my mic down, I'm gonna walk away from it, because I know everyone already hates me, and that's fine. But there's a reason why I haven't brought it up, because I still think it's, like, one of the best songs on this album. Probably still the best song, because I think without the chorus, I still think it's probably the best song on this album.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any arguments or anything above it?
Not really. I think everything else about the song is so strong. Because I wanted to let you know that I think the song could be leagues above where it is. I've always felt this way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's the best song of all time. It's my favorite Kurt Travis song.
I'm pretty sure if in this episode, if you go back to like the beginning, when you were listing off the songs, I think you legitimately said verbatim, "This is my favorite song of all time."
I might have. I meant
So-
of this era.
Just saying.
We all know that there's other songs I like more than this song. It's one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
Is what I meant to say. We all know that I am as basic as it gets. We Own the Night is still my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's probably more questionable.
Stroke on Millionaire, baby.
That's probably a painful thing for people to hear on the internet.
There's like, oh wow, basic bitch.
Like, wow, what a basic person.
Even though even though that song is their most streamed by like a lot, so
for good reason. And for good reason that Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most is their number 2 most streamed song of all time.
It's just like
it's just
Uneasy
catchy.
Hearts.
It's just fun. It's a fun
like,
song.
Like that's a song I could like karaoke to.
That's a song I do.
Yeah.
Like
And don't get me wrong,
we hang
like,
out
what-
or we're playing
yeah.
music, I always gotta throw that.
Oh
shit
yeah,
on
we
'cause
always sing along. Like,
Yeah, we
fun.
do.
I think that is like the broader appeal of that song is like, yes, it might not be the most like overly technical, advanced masterpiece of a song like a lot of other DGD songs are, but that's the beauty of this song is that it doesn't have to be that to still be a good song. They just made a really, really catchy jam that is just really fun to sing along to. It's really fun to vibe to. They play it at shows and you lose your fucking mind. Like, I was there the last time they toured, like 1 billion years ago before the world went to shit. And every single, because I've seen them so many times at this point, and every single time I'm like, I just want them to play Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most, and they never do. And the last time they toured, they did it. Everyone went fucking batshit insane. The place exploded. Yeah. It was incredible. It was a great place to be. And I think that like that, just I never want to say that like the social impact of a song has any bearing on like the objectiveness of it. But I think like for the fact that DGD is a cult, some of that kind of has to carry through in some capacity.
That's fair.
And like this is a quintessential DGD staple song, and it's just if this song didn't exist, it would just pain me more than if any of these other songs on this album didn't exist. I think Alex English and Me and Zoloft Get Along Just Fine are also very good. They're also classics.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most has much more of an impact in the greater like DGD experience, you know? And I think that, in my opinion, I think that holds a little bit of weight.
That's fair. Honestly, it's really fair. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying the song's bad. I started off by talking about how I love a lot of this song. It's legitimately, like, I don't detest it, but similar to how Brennan said he detested the one part of Caviar, that part of the song just, like, throws me off of it. I just, objectively, looking at this song compared to Alex English and, what was the other one? Fucking Zoloft? I think that they instrumentally, and just as a full package, objectively, not holding any kind of like cultish fucking power over it, I think that the continued package of them makes more sense than the full overarching package of this song. I think that like with that cultish objectiveness though, and how fun this fucking song is to sing drunk, I would agree it's number 1.
You know, I do appreciate. I know I shit on you a lot. I know I've been just having a terrible time the last few minutes talking about this. But no, I really do respect and appreciate the fact that you went on the fucking internet and in front of me and Brennan, who are like the 2 biggest DGD fans you know, and you threw out the hottest take in the world, and you just fucking stuck to your guns and owned it. And man, you must have a very large penis, Kyle.
Thank you, man.
As much
woman.
as it hurt me to hear that, it also I respect the fuck out of you for being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Owning that opinion.
And like I said, Kyle, I mean, you went to school for music. You know,
for a year.
Still,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, even
counts.
then, you have like a very like fleshed out like music knowledge.
Mm.
You know, like there's times where like you're talking about like actual like, you know, fundamentals and like little things about songs that like I have no idea what, you know, what's going on. And like that's why like when you're talking about like melodies and like how like it doesn't have like it could be like next level, like I like there's nothing I could do but respect that. You know, because like I said, like you're always bringing shit in that I've like, you know, completely goes over my head. You know.
Yeah,
but I
like,
just.
I mean, I appreciate the kind words, and it's just there's a part of me that wants to hear if they like actually like, wrote out the melody from the verses into the chorus in a way like where there's like singing and like full instrumentals. I want to hear what that would sound like because I feel like I'd like that more because I feel like it's like just a disconnect. And it works for the song. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it works because, like, everyone fucking adores it. And it's very, like, relatable. And, like, everyone loves just chanting it. It's a very fun, more fun, gang, like what you were saying, Tyler, gang chants make songs more fun. But there's an objective part of me that's just like, man, if this song just had, like, a full flow to it, I would really fucking enjoy that. And there's just always a little part of me that's going to be like, man. I'm still going to sing it a lot, though, because I still think the song is good. I still like it. I just think that there's problems with it, and I think that's really hard to hear for a lot of people. And if you have something you're having a hard time confessing about, talk to us. Comment below.
Don't tell us in the comments that you like fucking murdered someone though, and are
Don't
dealing
do that.
with like the guilt of that. That's a bit much.
Call the police.
But like
they should know.
Don't come to us with anything. But like,
yeah, I mean,
questionable music opinions, toss them out there.
Yeah, I love to hear hot takes, man. I like giving them too, so keep them coming.
So now
Anyways.
that that's over with, we gotta talk about the actual fight here, which is between Alex English and me and Zoloft get along just fine. Where do we want to start with this?
Start from the beginning, Alex English, you know? Start with Alex English.
Well,
start in order.
I like Alex English a lot. I think that, like, how the song kicks off and how, like, I think this is a very good album starter. I like how it kind of does have, like, a slow build, like, with the guitars. You know, like, we're slowly fading in. And then all of a sudden, like, John Mess and the band just, like, wake the fuck up. And then, like, boom, like, stop! Like
hearing that shit live is incredible too.
Yeah, like every time
so
I hear
powerful.
the song, like this or the Tree City Sessions version, I'm instantly taken back to the Mothership tour where me and Tyler saw this band at Mr. Small's, and man, like the entire crowd was just like, stop! And it was just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And like, I mean, like even after that part, like it instantly like breaks down in strips and it's just the guitar and Kurt Travis singing. Like that's just so tasty. Like that's such an infinitely amazing like transition to me.
Yes.
And then like it's just like the slow build. All of a sudden the other guitar starts stepping in and playing like even like more soothing stuff. And then like it picks right back up again. Like John Mess is taking you on another little ride. And like I mean it's just like this song is also like the full package that Kyle's probably like, looking for. You know, it has like interesting melodies. It has like the full like gambit of, you know, of DGD like happiness, like everything. Like it just, man, like Alex English, this song is an absolute fucking banger.
Yeah, I agree.
And then like one thing on this album that I wish they did a little bit more in happiness. Like there's a lot more like background vocals. Like
yes,
yeah, and I
Kurt
love
Travis,
it. Like
he just like takes off a little bit, like. And then even like the chorus where it's like, you know, you get what you pay for, like you hear like his highs in the background, it's just like, man, like that's just so fucking tasty. And then like even after that, like the instrumentals like pick back up and it's just fucking like Will Swan like doing his thing. It's like, damn, like dude, fucking shred, like give me more, you know, like oh man, I could gush on about Alex English.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean,
and then holy shit. And then even like the slowdown where it's just like, you know, I won't let you fall or I won't let you hit the ground.
That is like my favorite part of the whole song. It's so
same, dude.
Good. Like,
oh my god.
They could have ended the song like right there, like at that part, but instead they went the extra mile. They just strip everything down. He with like the smoothest fucking. It's just like for like the first track on the first album that Kurt Travis is a part of, right? It just gives him this just huge opening to just like and we kind of talked about this with like Acceptance Speech, where there's that part in the first song on that one where they just kind of give Tillian a spot in the song to just kind of sing on his own and kind of expose himself to the world, right? And that's what you get here, but I think like in a much more effective way. It's so powerful, it's so good, it sounds so incredible. Like the song as a whole, I mean, like Brennan said, like you hit the nail on the head. Like just everything you'd want in a DGD song is here. Like you got the crazy instrumentals, the constant switch ups. It's just this like beautiful chaos that just like it all works, you know? It's a shame that like the rest of the album does not carry this energy.
100%.
It really is, because like with this as the opening track, like you expect this album to just be a solid album, and it's not. But like no, this song is absolutely incredible. I've always loved it. I always will. Yeah. Fuck.
I 100% share every sentiment as you guys. Like, this is the song, as a person that doesn't listen to Uneasy Hearts as much on my own, this is the song of this album for me. Like, this song is just all around phenomenal. There is not a bad moment in it, except for the fact that John Mass exists in this album. I fucking like it just sounds bad. I'm sorry, but everything else on the song is great, man. Like, it's like such a great album opener. Like, holy shit, especially on an album where the ending is just so bad. It's like such a great scope of like what happened on this album. It's like, yes, and then why the fuck? Why the fuck is this happening?
That's really how I felt with this album. It's like I started off in such a high place, and by the end of it, I'm just dragging my bones through the fucking mud. Just like, how did I get here? It's like I started off on the peak of a mountain and just fucking toppled off. Like
100%, man. I think, man, there's a point in this song, I can't even remember it off the top of my head, that it almost sounds a little bit like an anime intro, like with the way that the guitars are going. And I can't remember what part specifically it is, but if next time you listen to it, look for it, because I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, I just felt like I was turned on fucking Funimation, and I just heard the intro start out of nowhere. But I'm just a weeb, so who fucking knows if that's shared by anyone. But I don't know, man, like, just like the beginning is kind of like just guitars, and you're like, oh shit, and then it gets building, and then it almost like double times, and it like gets even more interesting, and then like you guys were saying, like Kurt Travis has that moment where he gets to fucking get it, and it's like, oh yes, this album is about to be phenomenal, man, yes. And then we're all fed lies, but I think that that bring down moment is like by far my favorite part as well. I think that like that moment of just like pure, just like smooth cradle me in your voice moment, it's just so great. And then the ending is just super great again. Like, I don't know, and it's super kind of going with what you're saying about Uneasy Hearts, where it's like that big moment for everyone to like sing in the crowd and everything. Like, man, I think the song really does bring so much to the table. It is like a quintessential DGD song, and I fucking adore it.
I would go out on a limb and say that objectively it could be better than Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most, but like, there are some songs that I will not let logic surpass my bias. So
it's okay. I can be the one that they can just hate me. You guys, I'll take the bullet. You guys, don't worry about it. In my final ranking, I'll make the harm.
I mean, I think there's definitely an argument to be made.
I mean, like, I feel like we kind of just made it.
Yeah, we did, but I'm not gonna let it happen. I just like
I'm not gonna let it
like
happen.
Sure, it's probably the right answer, but like
this has moments where everyone can do that chanty bit, but like in small doses where like and then like, the professionals get to take over again and bless me with a beautiful sound the entire rest of the time.
It just feels wrong though. It feels
it doesn't to me, but that's okay.
Feels wrong.
That's all right.
Like I get it, but I can't. I just can't do it. It's like I know that like from a certain perspective you are right, but I can't pull the trigger on that. I don't think Brennan can either.
I don't think he can either, but like I kind of want to coerce him with money, like
with money. I mean, like,
what do you think of this idea, Brennan? This
what about putting Uneasy Hearts underneath it?
Like the comparison between Uneasy Hearts and Alex English. We don't have to go making big huge announcements yet, but like, what do you think of this comparison here, Brennan? After everything we just gushed about Alex English.
For me, Alex English is like, I mean, fuck. Because Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most is like the consensus pick. Like,
yeah, well, 100%.
For pretty much everyone ever, like, it's just the better song. I mean, like,
we're making Alex an objective list here, man.
I know we're making an objective list.
Only because...
I don't know
well,
if I can.
Not only because, but partially because we are on a time limit.
Shut your fucking mouth, time. This is a big moment for Brennan, okay?
I know you're making progress getting us to switch over, but we already locked it in. We got to keep moving on. We haven't talked about me and Zoloft get along just fine yet.
It's not locked in. It's not locked in.
It could be though.
Zoloft.
It could. We're running out of time.
We still got to talk about Zoloft.
We gotta keep this moving.
Okay. Well, just keep thinking about it, Brennan. We'll make our final.
Let it simmer.
Let it simmer.
What do you guys think about Zoloft?
Let it simmer though.
I really fucking like Zoloft. I really like Zoloft.
Like actual Zoloft? Like you enjoy taking Zoloft?
Oh yeah, fuck the song. Like I'm talking about.
No. I think Zoloft probably has the best chorus.
I can get behind that.
I can feel that. I think it's the catchiest chorus. I don't know if it's like technically the best, but I definitely think that like this is the one I'm gonna like hear myself singing in the shower the most because it got stuck in there, you know?
I just like that the chorus lets Kurt Travis kind of like let loose a little bit, and there's like the
100%.
Again like the layered vocals like underneath it to just kind of like heighten it. Like I dig it. I love the chorus of the song.
Same.
I like this song just in general. I don't think there's anything I dislike about this song. It's just a really smooth, groovy time.
100%. I think this song also does a great job with the change ups between like different like speeds and like ideas, because like there's a lot of moments where like it very sharply just bang and it changes to like a whole another idea. And it's very well done. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like the closest thing we have to like that sharp disco sex jam change without the fact that there's an actual disco sex jam. Like it's very just like, bam, new idea. And then it comes back to the other idea, bam. And it's really flawless. Like they kill it. And I think the biggest thing for me though is that the intro of this has a lot of John Ness in it. And that kind of like just sets the tone for like a weird, like, okay. And then it goes to the rest of it. I go, oh, dope. I love this fucking song. So I don't know. That's kind of me. I also think the slow part near the end with the really high ooze, the background ooze for Kurt Travis are just a really great way to like bring it down.
Wasn't in like the Tree City Sessions like version of it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. It's a letdown, honestly, because that's what I think. That's a little like that little garnish. They're like, ooh, yes.
I get
give me more.
why they wouldn't do that in the Tree City Sessions one though, considering it's live. Like it'd probably be kind of hard to execute that in a live setting.
Well, in the Tree City, like because they only really did the live for like the ones Tillian was actually already in. Because I thought like for all the ones that were like Johnny Craig and Kurt, they like re-recorded them. I mean, at least it sounds that way. I could be very.
I thought they just did all of them live, like in the same way they did the second one.
Yeah, because I know the second one they did them all live.
Put on a show.
Yeah,
and
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But I was gonna say if they recorded it, that'd make a ton of sense. Just like a because I have a feeling Tillian would be like way more like booming in that part.
It doesn't sound like he's like really processed or like mixed like it would be like a studio produced.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like you can tell like for me there's like a sharp like difference between like We Own the Night and like Zoloft. Like for me like you can actually hear like the panting a little bit of them like breathing, like recording the part while with like all the other like ones without Tillian originally. I mean, but then they don't like really process it all. They just kind of like put it out there.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to find that out.
I don't actually know. If you know, if someone in the comments, if you know, please tell us.
Enlighten my ass.
Yeah, tell us why in between the sandwich of Kyle fucking is wrong all over the place on it. Yeah,
Kyle is fucking wrong.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really fucking like Zoloft. I think it's a super strong song. I don't think it hits the level of Uneasy Hearts or Alex English.
I think it is definitively number 3.
I would 100% agree. I like it.
I couldn't agree more.
Nothing wrong with it, and a lot of really great things, but nothing that's like, oh, and that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we make a decision that we're going to regret, let's just lock all those in and move on to the recap. All right.
So we have 13 through 3.
We have 13
Brennan.
through 1.
No.
We already decided earlier that Uneasy Hearts is number 1.
Brennan, what's your call, my guy? I'm not hurt either way because I know it would be pretty horrendous for you to agree with me here.
Kyle, like I've said before, your musical knowledge is vastly superior to mine and Tyler's.
Okay.
I think that Alex English, I don't have the con that you have for Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most. I feel like Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most is like an absolute like cult classic.
Understandable.
But instead of it being a cult classic, it's like mainstream. Like, I don't know, it's like an odd kind of analogy there.
No, I actually fully that's a really good way to put it. Actually, it's like a cult classic that went mainstream, and now everyone pumps it into their veins. Yeah,
yeah, it's like Pulp Fiction. Like everyone knows that movie, but originally it was like a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alex English does everything right, and I think seeing it live really has bolstered my opinion for it. I think that song is absolutely fantastic. No cons, excellent transitions. Kurt Travis just completely shows you that this album could be great. It's not, but it could be great. Probably like one of like the best album openers they've come up with. I mean, obviously,
honestly,
Chucky and We Own the Night probably beat it, but
yeah,
I mean,
it's really close to those two.
It's really close. It's probably like number 3 or number 2A.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of agree.
I mean, that's just like every time I hear it, I'm like, this song is so fucking good. Like, but then I hear Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most, and I'm like, but this is it. So I think for that, it has to be number 1. I think it is the best song on the album. I think Alex English does songs that are a little bit better, but I think like the overall package that I get from Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most is just like, this is it. Like, if I want to show somebody self-titled Deathstar, like Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most is the first song I'm showing them, and then Alex
100%.
English,
and
then Zoloft.
And then nothing else.
And then the next album.
And then the rest of it,
the whole album. It's a 3-song album. There's no other songs that were on this album.
Along, Tyler, you knew it. You said it was an EP from the start. It could just be a 3-song EP. I wasn't
wrong at the beginning. I was right. It's a 3-song EP, and they just threw on a bunch of trash at the end.
Like these 3 songs. This is Jesus teaching a man how to fish. And then the rest of it, that's your own risk, bud.
Yep.
If you want, that's
what a great metaphor.
What fucking metaphor was that?
Yeah, it's those 3 songs are like Jesus trying to teach that one guy to walk on water, and the rest of the album is that guy falling in the water. It's like what this album is.
That's what I thought the metaphor was going, and then you just went, "You're on your own."
After
Jesus was like,
after Jesus teaches him to fish, after Jesus teaches him to fish, he's got to go fish. Like, it's not like everything's just good at that point. Like, it's like the Lion King.
Jesus was on the beach and he was like, "Oh, y'all are starving? I know how to create food from nothing." And he made like 500,000 like tuna fish sandwiches and then took them all with him and was like, "You're on your own."
Exactly.
I did it. Now your turn. Let's go.
What a great lesson.
This is like I'll show you. I'll teach you how to fish, but then like the rest of the album is like that shadowy part of the lake that no one goes. It's like the Lion King. It's
the Lion King. We don't touch that part. We don't. Light doesn't touch it. Neither do we. Don't.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
What a note to go out on. Okay, we're gonna do the recap here, and then we're gonna hit the end card and head on home. I mean, we're already home, but
we're all home.
Metaphorical.
You get the point.
So number 12, we have People You Know, absolute trash, followed by Caviar at number 11.
Dog shit.
Also trash. Number 10 is Buffalo. It's not good.
No.
Number 7 is not number 7. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
12,
what
11,
numbers are you going by?
9. We thought that I wouldn't be having strokes by the end of this podcast, and
Tyler,
here I am still. Just having completely fucking.
Tyler did math instead of math.
Someone else want to do this for me? I don't know.
I think you didn't record the
phone up to the webcam, and you can like.
Number 8 is what? Skyhook.
Number 9 is Skyhook. Number
right.
8 is Burning Down the Nicotine Armoire Part 2. That name is so long, I always forget what number I'm on by the time I get to it. Number 6?
7, I think, is next.
7 is reprogramming.
Now you're on
reprogramming. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry, everyone. Number 6 is Hot Water on Wool. 5 is Rock Solid.
Yeah.
4, Roll With Human Hair Part 3. 3, Means They'll Have to Get Along Just Fine. 2, Alex English. 1, Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most. I did it. I got
What
through.
an absolute knowledgeable way to get that out, and no one's confused about what our ranking
not
was.
at all.
Yeah.
Not at
No
all.
one's. You were, if you
Not
listen
that
to the whole thing,
not
you knew
that
where it went.
I lost confidence in myself through every single time that I opened my mouth in this episode, but Kyle, you could do the end card today. I'm
Oh boy. I will say, I think
I'm
it
just
did.
gonna mute myself and sit over here and drink some water.
Okay.
Get
All right,
hydrated
buddy. You got this, buddy.
Get my brain cells back.
I think the fact that we lumped 2 songs together that actually made it 12 songs made it really difficult for us to remember the numbers and everything. So I know it did for me.
That's our excuse.
That's our excuse. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, continuing on this DGD discography journey. I love seeing your face.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for seeing mine.
We only got one more to go after this.
Holy shit! Wow, coming to an end. What's gonna happen after that? Our channel will die. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole thing.
It was never alive to begin with, Kyle.
It'll actually get buried after that. 'Cause what are we gonna review after that?
We'll
Bill
go from
Murray?
getting
Jesus,
tens of
man.
views to no views, so it'll be great.
Hey.
Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Let us know in the comments what you thought your list was, how wrong I was about my opinions, or if you're a rebel, join me. Or you can go ahead and slap that subscribe button you haven't already. What are you doing? What are you watching this and not being subscribed for? Come on! And while you're at it, hit that bell. Ding-a-ling-ding. Lets you know when we post stuff. Maybe. Sometimes it doesn't work, but that's okay. Thank you guys. Maybe hit a like. Maybe hit a share to the social medias where we post things, the Talk Slot Boys, on all your favorite social medias. Check it out. Thank you. I think that does it for us today. Enough hot takes. Time to go to bed. Good night, cutie. We've been the Talk Slot Boys. And we'll talk a whole lot more next time. Goodbye.